Well, hey guys, it is John C. Morley here, serial entrepreneur. Great to be with you tonight on Inspirations for Your Life. Doing something a little different tonight, actually streaming live from my iPhone. Something I just learned that you could do with Restream, and a lot of platforms don't allow you to do that because their platform is no software. It's software as a service. It works really well, and although it doesn't work on all browsers, it seems to work on Safari, and hopefully it will work on Firefox and other ones down the road. But it does work on Chrome on the PC and on Firefox. But on the iPhone, it seems to just work on Safari. Welcome, everyone. If this is your first time joining me at Inspiration for Your Life, I'm so happy you decided to join me tonight. And if you're coming back, well, welcome back, my friends. It's always great to have you in the room and, coming back and being part of this wonderful energy. We have an amazing topic this week, and it's choosing what matters in your life. We kind of talked about that, right? And tonight's granular topic is, this is something a lot of people don't realize, but it is understanding something, and it is that you have to understand one thing. You know what that thing is? That is that sometimes when the shine wears off, right? And we are on series 4, show 32, episode number 3. This is a Monday night, guys. And it is so great to be with everyone here. Really great to be streaming. Now that I know that we can do this, I'll probably be streaming a lot more on the road. So that'll be, really cool, and I've got different libraries set up in studios so I can do that really easily. And that's just a really powerful feature. So let's just dive right into the show. All right. And I think I told you the reason that I had been doing some of these things is so I got a brand new laptop just on Friday, the brand new P1, all souped up for, AI and all that. And it's like a $4,000 laptop. It's a really great laptop, but it's in the process of doing a transfer from one laptop to the other. It's got about 12 hours remaining. I have to tell you, I tried some different software, and I'll tell you which ones that I really like, because moving the software is a real pain and copying the profiles, and this is really cool. Hey guys, thank you so much. Really appreciate all the likes and the loves here. So we're gonna get started here with the show. I'm John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. It is always such a privilege, a pleasure, and an honor to be with you here on, yes, Inspirations for Your Life. We're on daily, every single day. I'm a podcast host. I am an engineer, marketing specialist, video producer. I'm also a grad student at Montclair State University. And the first thing I want to talk about is actually emotional connection, building trust. By the way, if any of you guys are parched or thirsty, feel free to go scat and get something to drink, heat, whether it's healthy, whether it's not, and hurry on back. All right. So a few years back, I remember something very interesting about emotional connections, right? Emotional connections, as we know, build trust. And I think what I want to share here tonight is that, the shine, right? We're talking about the shine, and the shine wears off, right? And what I mean by the shine wearing off is like, you get a new pair of shoes, and that new pair of shoes that you got is great, right? But what happens when the shine wears off? Well, you've got to put new shine on them, right? Because the shine can keep dropping. So just like in our lives, shine. Sometimes it could be a marriage, it could be a friendship, it could be a new car, a new toy, and the luster kind of fades from it, right? It's like it doesn't seem the same. And that's because of one thing. It's because we've gotten comfortable with it. We have to keep pushing ourselves, right? So what are the shines we're off? Well, we could talk about shines on the car, right? Like the shine of your car. Maybe your car needs to be repolished or something like that. Or maybe it's the shine of something else. It could be the shine of your personality. Now, if the shine of your personality wears off, then that's time for you to say, you know what? I need to do something different, right? I need to do something different. And the reason I need to do something different is because I'm not the way I was before. Okay. And I think that's a very important thing for everybody here to understand is that there's shine on everything, right? There's shine on fruit. There is shine on our floor, right? Got to be careful with the shine on the floor because if you, let's say, go too fast on that floor and it's slick, you might fall and break your neck. So, what else has a shine in it? Well, people's eyes have a shine, personalities have a shine, but sometimes the shine is not really visible. Now, that's not anybody's direct fault, but sometimes things happen. So when we notice our shine start to drop, it's important that we actually take that shine and say, you know what? I need to polish it up. I need to focus on positivity. Neville Goddard said something a very long time ago that, what we are putting our mind on, that attention on, just like other people have said, that's what manifests, right? He talked about the whole concept of climbing a ladder. And he said, I don't want you to climb a ladder. And then every night when people went to sleep, he says, I want you to go to bed and I want you to climb a ladder. Picture you climbing a ladder. But he says, don't climb a ladder. Whatever you do, do not climb a ladder. So people were like, okay. So he was going to a relative's house, and all of a sudden, when he went to this relative's house, you know what happened? Well, somehow he finds himself climbing a ladder. And, it's really apropos how this happens. So, what we put into our mind, what we focus on, is what we bring about in life. And like I said, this is the very first time that I've done something, and I've really learned this is really cool. I'm definitely going to be doing streaming like this at least once a week. I do have the studio, but I am going to definitely do this at least once a week on, just direct to the iPhone. It seems like a lot of people like this, and this is really great. I'm really grateful. So we're on the air now almost 4 years. Inspirations for Your Life is also on cable TV, BronxNet, and several other places. So, what else has a shine in your life? Well, sometimes you'll get a shine from maybe starting something. Like maybe you're starting something and you're getting this shine, you're getting this feeling that it's going so well. Like in a relationship, it shines really well in the beginning, right? But then what happens? That shine sort of fades, kind of like the honeymoon phase, just kind of whoop, just kind of fades away. So when that happens in our life, we have to realize that we were after something that wasn't true. Now, that's not saying that the relationship isn't good. It's saying that we have to remember that what brought us into the relationship is not what's going to keep us into the relationship. You might say, gee, John, love. Yes, but we have to be more than love. We have to be, I don't want to say completing, but we have to be complementing each other. Sometimes people say, they get married because they want to complete each other. No, if you're getting married to complete the other person, you're doomed for failure. You're doomed for a divorce. So if you get married because you want to enhance the other person's life and you want them to enhance your life, you want to basically augment each other's life. You want to make it better. That's a great reason, right? But we have to remember to keep our own individuality. In Shine, a big time when we think about Shine is independence. The independence of our life can sometimes take us from no shine to a big shine. But then there can be moments when that shine just sort of bloop, just sort of fades away. What do we do in our life when shine just sort of goes away? Do we put our head under a pillow and say, oh my gosh, I'm not shining anymore. I'm not shining anymore. What am I doing? Like my head shining, right? My hat, right? BelieveMeAchieve.com. Incidentally, for those of you who don't know, you can go to BelieveMeAchieve.com 24 hours a day to catch all my long form and my short form content. But shining, you remember like the shining star in the sky, right? So when something shines, it catches our attention. It attracts us. It gets us curious about it, right? Let's think about a sign on the road, right? When we see a sign on the road and it is shining or it's blinking, what do? We want to go check out the sign, right? I mean, pretty obvious. How about when you go to the store and there's this set of candy bars? Hopefully you like candy. I know my grandfather loved chocolate. I love chocolate. I just had a beautiful piece of chocolate layer cake. And so if you like something, right, that's one thing. But now that the packages have shining on it, guess what that does? It gets you to want to check it out. It gets you to want to explore it. And I think that's something that is very wild today, is to be able to explore something in a way that maybe you didn't know existed. If that shine didn't exist, would you have checked out that peanut butter bar or that chocolate bar or, I don't know, that almond bar? The shine got us to take, let's say, an interest, to get us curious. But if the candy bar sucked, it wouldn't matter what the shine did, right? The shine got us interested. Just like in relationship, the shine is our smile, right? Our shine opens the door for us to be curious. And once we are curious, we explore. And you know what? We start to realize that there's more than the shine. See, the shine was just like that, let's say that thing that lured us in. You know, like when you go fishing, that's the lure that attracts the fish to bite. But the shine isn't what keeps you. Let's take education. Okay, many of you guys know I'm going back for my next degree, my master's in computer science AI, and then also my PhD. The shine of it is the fact that in my heart, I want to be one of the best at AI. No one's told me to do that. And to me, that's the shine. I'm getting curious about it. But the reason I'm hanging with it isn't just because it's beautiful and all that stuff. It's because I see a need in the world. Too many people use AI. This isn't the tech show, but too many people use AI to hurt other people or to do things that are, let's say, just not right. Right. And I've always said you have the right to grow, you have a right to be competitive as long as you don't harm or hurt another person. I think that's the most important thing. But thinking about a shine, thinking about what that means in your life, thinking about other things that shine. What else shines, right? Lights shine, they sparkle, they twinkle, some like even on a tree. Your car lights might shine, right? But what's something that shines and then goes away? Great question. How about the shine of maybe a new goal, right? It's really very attractive in the beginning. Like, let's take all the people that decide to go to the gym on, I don't know, January 1st. And they go to the gym for like 2 weeks and there's no parking space, right? But then they stop going because the shine wore off. The thing that attracted them to going to the gym wore off. And I think if we get attracted to just that and we don't have anything deeper, like a meaning for it, we're just going to keep chasing things and never finishing them. Right? When something attracts you, there's a reason for it. It's because you're curious about it. Your curiosity is hopefully going to build something that's going to get that concept, that new idea you're working on, to be a permanent fixture in your mind and body. Let's take the working out in the gym, right? Or working at a home like I do a lot. So the curiosity is getting your body to be more fit, to be healthier. That's what's curious. What keeps me on the path is knowing how I feel after. Let me take another one. I love to hike, and I run hikes every week. I do a beginner hike for the first set of guys, and that's like 45 minutes. And then I do another, basically 2 hour and a half, 2 hours and 45 minutes for the second part, which is the intermediate. So the first part of the hike is really simple. We go around all flat terrain, and it's pretty basic. Then when we get closer to 45 minutes, I ask, how's everybody doing? Does anybody want to pick another break, or is everyone going to stay with us? We're going to start the intermediate hike in 5 minutes. And then we cross a bridge. Once we cross that bridge, we start to get into terrain that's not as easy as the first course, going around a circle like a lake. So now we're going over the bridge, and then after we go over the bridge, we start to realize that we're on a real trail. And the reason we know this is because when we were going around the lake, it wasn't really a trail, even though it is a trail, but the trail was like as big as a car or two, right? When you go on this particular route, the trail might be as wide as maybe, I don't know, maybe let's say 4 or 5 feet, maybe less. And as you start to go on that trail, you realize something. You realize that you're starting to climb a mountain. And it doesn't hit you for the first few minutes, and it's like, starting to get out of breath. And everybody gets out of breath, right? So we take a little break here and there. There's no rush. But as we start to climb, we also start to realize another thing. We have to be cognizant on what matters. And what matters on the trail is our health, Okay, and how do we keep our health? Making sure we have some good healthy snacks, we have some good water, right? We take a rest if we need a rest, we wear comfortable clothing, and we pay particular attention to the trail signs, right? What color on, what each one means, and things like that. And as we start to know that following a trail sign is kind of like our Bible, we know that if we follow the trail, we'll be okay. The trail could get a little steeper. We have to realize the trail could go in different directions. A trail could go over a mountain. A trail could lead us into some real beauty where we take a break. But then a trail could also lead us off course. So if we find out that if we're traveling, let's say, I don't know, less than maybe a couple feet, and we don't see another trail marker, we don't want to keep going because one of the most important things is to stay on the trail to be safe, right? We don't want to be in just the brush. And so a trail is marked, right? It also is kind of burrowed where, you can walk. It's not the most best landscaping, but I mean, it's a trail. It's wooded and there's some trees and stuff. And then as you get to the trail, you have to realize, paying attention to your body. How does something feel? Getting to the top of the mountain, getting to the bottom of the mountain, and enjoying life. And I think a lot of times, even though people want to achieve goals, I think goals are great. We have to enjoy not just the goal that we have reached. Maybe we want a new car, and the goal is to get that new Porsche, to get that new Mercedes, to get that new Lamborghini. And now that you got it, it's like the shine wore off, right? Maybe not right away. Maybe it takes a month or two or a couple months. But you see, that wouldn't happen if you understood that getting the car is just part of your continued journey. The journey doesn't end with getting the Mercedes, the Lamborghini, the Porsche, the Ferrari. It doesn't end there. It ends nowhere. You have to keep realizing that that's another stepping stone. I think a lot of people today, when they start on a trail or they start on any journey, it could be education, and it gets hard, right? The luster is gone. And then you know what happens? They want to give up. And giving up should never be in our cards. I've said to you, we're going to get good cards, we're going to get bad cards, we're going to get mediocre cards. It's not the kind of cards we get, it's how we choose to respond that makes it so. So when we talk about shine, right? Look about the shine of, I've got a candle here, right? I don't know if it has the battery works or not. No, battery's probably dead on this. But when when I have the light on, there's a light in here, and there's like an on, and then there's a timer, and then there's an off position. And so basically, what the timer does is when you turn on the timer, it's 5 hours on, and then it's 19 hours off. So that's kind of how that works. In the center is on, the left is totally off, and to the right is timer. That luster from the first time it comes on, and then it sort of fades. How about a fire, right? You ever been around a campfire? When the fire first comes on, there's this big luster, there's these big flames. But then as the fire starts to gradually ease down, the flames become less intense. The heat becomes a lot lower. And the level of the fire becomes lower. What else has a shine in your life? Anything. It could be anything you're working toward. You could have a shine with taking a walk every day. See, a shine just means that it's something you're very passionate and that you want to do. It's our job to make sure that the shine does not wear off. Why do we do this? Because walking is a great thing, just like exercising is a great thing. Even eating the cake is a good thing, right? But the shine is staying healthy. Some people say, "Well, gee, I don't care. I just want to have 3 pieces of cake." The shine's wearing off. We have to motivate ourselves and say, "Wait a minute. I want to keep this great body. I want to feel good." That's the shine. What else has a shine in your life? There's so many things. We got signs, we got cars, different lights, traffic lights. We got all kinds of different things. How about the shine of a doorbell, right? The little bell, and you press it, and the light goes out when you press it, and that shine goes out. But when it goes out, something else happens. The doorbell rings. That's pretty cool, right? So a shine is, I'm going to call it a temporary situation that attracts you or really infatuates you with a certain situation. And when you choose to pursue it further and find a commonality in you or what you're going toward, you're going to find that that curiosity will light something on fire in you. It'll ignite your passion, something that any shine will never extinguish. Let's think of it another way. If you ever built a fire before, I'm an Eagle Scout, and if you ever built a fire with some brush, and I even built a fire with a battery and steel wool, and then also with the little flint and steel, and just kind of making a spark. You have to have kindle down first, right? And if you have kindle down, so you start with that. And then the kindle gets a little warm, right? But first you have to build your fire. So maybe you put the tinder, which is, it burns really quickly. Then you put some, let's say, more medium-sized wood. Then you put thicker wood on top. And all around the base, you have tinder. When you light tinder, tinder just kind of goes up. It's very flammable. And that tinder is the shine, but the shine burns out. And because there's more fuel, which is medium-sized wood and thicker wood, the shine doesn't go out. And as long as you keep feeding that fire, guess what happens? The fire stays on. If you keep feeding your own fire, your own passions, they keep growing. Whatever we feed keeps living. Whatever we feed keeps thriving, keeps growing. And I know a lot of you watching tonight or whatever you're watching this are looking for a magic bullet. There are no magic bullets. But what there are moments of life when we can start to realize that I've actually accomplished that. And that, when we take a moment to really reflect on, will be the magic to stoke your own fire. Let me give you an example. Let's say you had a mission, and your mission was to raise some money for a charity. In the beginning, it was very luscious. It was great, right? It sounded amazing. But then after 6 months and you're not really getting much from donations, you want to give up. But you can't give up, because if you give up, all these people that you were hoping to feed may not get any food. And so when we find a commonality of what ties us to the curiosity, that makes a big difference. That makes a huge difference, guys. A huge difference. But I don't want you to think that you can do this in 5 seconds. The level of curiosity has to build, right? You've heard of people that have skills, right? They don't just develop those skills overnight. They work at them, right? Just like you work at clay to make it into a masterpiece. When we keep getting curious about something, we can't put the pen down. We can't put the paper down. We can't forget or even stop on the journey because we're too curious. I'll give you an example. Christmas time. When many of you are younger and Santa was coming, we all wanted to stay up and wait to see Santa, but we couldn't, right? We had to go to bed because Santa doesn't come when you're awake. And so we would go to sleep. We'd be like sleeping with one eye open, like this or like this. And we're like, looking, maybe we'll see Santa coming. And then eventually we get tired and we fall asleep. But we're trying to stay awake. We're curious about what Santa looks like, what Santa's going to do, what Santa's going to say, how Santa's going to come down our chimney. We're curious about all these things. And this fuels us into the belief and having a magical Christmas. Whenever you're trying to do something and somebody is attracted to it for a surface reason, I'm going to call it clickbait because that's really what it is. It's one thing, and it will probably fade. very quickly after they've been captivated to it. But when we find something deeper than that, when we find a commonality to us and that trait, or to us and other people, this is what fuels us to keep going forward. That's powerful, guys. So if there's something in your life right now and you want to go forward with it, but you feel that it's lost its lacquer, it's lost its shine, right? What do you do when you have shoes that have lost their shine? You bring them to the shoemaker, or you go out and you shine them, right? And when you reshine them, they have that attraction again. So when we keep getting curious, we keep polishing our goals. And they keep saying, hey, John, come on, come here, come here, come here. Look how beautiful this is now, right? Instead of, it's beautiful, but it's beautiful for the wrong reasons. And by the wrong reasons, I mean that it's captivating you for something only superficial. Now, I'm not saying that superficial things are bad, but I'm just saying that you've got to remember what matters in life. That's what this whole week is about. What matters to you? What matters to other people? And if you don't know what matters, right after the show, I would just take a few moments, a piece of paper, and write down what are 5, 10, 50 things that matter to you in your life. Why do they ignite so much passion in you? How can you take that passion from that and put it into something like, I don't know, sales calls or management, right? Or recruiting, whatever it is, you've got to take that curiosity and package it in a neat way and then associate with something else. And that level of desire will be just as strong as you had with something else because you found out what made the light go on. You found out what made the feeling. We don't do things for just any reason. We do things that make us feel good. Let me see that again. We do that for things that make us feel good. We do that for things that make us feel good. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. Do check out believemeachieve.com for more of my amazing, inspiring creations. We'll catch you real soon, everyone. Be well, okay?